If you're stuck in an 8-bar loop and you have no idea what to do to finish your music, here's the truth that probably no one's told you. There are only 4 things you can do to change your music. That's it. Once you understand these 4 things, music becomes easier to make, easier to finish, and a lot more fun. You can add one of these 4 things, take away one of these 4 things, or swap out one of these 4 things. But at the end of the day, there are only those 4 things that you can change. So let's get into it. Here are the 4 creative levers. I like to call these the big 4. You have melody, you have chords, you have rhythm, and you have sounds. Those are the only things that you can do. Melody is a series of notes over a time. Chords are multiple notes all stacked on top of one another, and chord progressions are different types of chords out in time. Rhythm doesn't change anything from the melody or the chords, but it changes the feel. It's beats over time. And then we have sounds. You can play the same part on a piano or on a guitar. It'll sound different, but it's still the same part with the same melody, chords, or rhythm. Those are the only 4 things that you can change in your music. And you can see that I've split this out here from melody, chords, rhythm, and sounds on a percentage basis. This is the importance or how big something is to your music. 50% can be dedicated to the melody. If you want to change something and you just change the melody, that can change so much to the song overall. Chords is 20%, rhythm is also 20%, and then finally is the sounds. Changing a different sound can create about 10% of the overall change. When it comes to your music, those are the only 4 things that you can change. And if you have broken past that 4-bar loop in the past, you have done at least 1, if not 2 of these things. So let me actually show you how to do this in the context of a track. Here's a song that I've been working on, and I've actually moved all 4 creative levers overall. So let me break it down. I'm going to play a quick section from the verse going into the chorus, going into the breakdown, and you'll see that stuff changes from the verse to the chorus to the breakdown. And I'll break down how each one of those parts are influencing one another and how I'm using each one of the 4 creative levers.
Wash your hands up, sanctify what you can find. No more songs without surrender. No more worship without the truth. Sanctify what you
So there's a lot going on there, from the verse to the chorus to the breakdown, and that's just a small section of this song. It's not even the entire song itself. So how am I breaking this down? Let's start with creative lever number 1, over 50%. We're changing the melody from one to the next. The melody from this is basically run entirely by the vocal. And so the vocal is carrying a lot of that melody content or melodic content. And so the melody changes from the verse to the chorus. We know this intuitively as we're making music and we listen to music. We know that we would want a different melody from the verse to the chorus. But understanding that and being able to implement that can really make the difference. It gives you a lever to pull. There's also a melody here in this synth as well. And I changed the melody up from the intro to the chorus, where I'm making some slight adjustments overall. This first part remained the same, but then each section afterwards changed just a little bit. Now from the verse to the chorus, we changed the chord progression as well.
with a melody of martyrs, and I will cry in his name.
So we're going from an A minor to an F to an E here. And during the chorus, we're going from A minor, G to a D, and then to an F.
And so sinner, sanctify what you can find. No more
It's subtle, but it makes all the difference in the world. Now, creative lever number 3 is rhythm. But before we get into that, would you like to know something exciting? I am hosting a free workshop called How to Stay in the Flow and Finish Music You Are Proud Of. This is a completely free workshop to attend, and I'll be breaking down the 3 secrets to getting unstuck with your music so you can finally finish the songs you've been working on. And would you like to know something double exciting. Everybody that attends live will be getting something that I've built completely for free. I don't want to spoil what it is, but all I can tell you is that it's more than a DAW template and it's less than a MacBook Pro. And every single person that attends live will get this for free. So click the link down in the description below and save your seat to this free event. It'll be about an hour long and you're going to wish you were there. So number 2 on this list is rhythm. And you can actually hear a difference between the drum machine and the real drums. You can even hear the difference in rhythm with the bass. The Reese bass is filling out the low end, kind of holding things together during the verse. And the bass during the verse is playing significantly more often. So now we've broken down 3 of the 4 main levers: the melody, the chords, and the rhythm. But what about the sounds? The sounds is still a significant portion of what we have. Well, I already kind of hinted onto that, but there was 2 main areas that I changed the sounds on. One was going from a drum machine to a real drum kit or a real sounding drum kit. Both are still sampled, but I'm using completely different samples. And then the second was the bass. I'm using a Reese bass here, or a synth bass. And then I'm using a real sounding bass here. I'm also processing the vocals differently as well and using different sounds on the vocals. There's this really low tune underneath the main vocal here. And then it goes into a more clean sound here.
Wash your hands, oh sinner. Sanctify what you've defined.
So now we understand the 4 main levers, but what should we actually do with these 4 levers? If you understand them, but you don't necessarily know how to implement it in your music, you're still going to be stuck. So once you understand the big 4, there's really only 3 things you can do with the big 4. You can add one of the 4. You can add a new melody, you can add a new chord progression, a new set of chords, you can add some more syncopated rhythm, or you can add a new sound like risers, downers, or maybe even just adding another guitar melody on top of a piano melody that you already have, for example. You could eliminate one of the 4. You could take away a melody, take away some chords, take away some rhythm, or take away some extra layers and sounds that you have in there. Or you can swap. You can take a melody that you had during the verse and put it during a bridge or something like that. What I did during the breakdown was pretty much deprive everybody of everything. Especially in metal music, we kind of like to deprive people of melody and then bring it back during the chorus to bring in this extra hook. And so you can see that I took away the synth melody, I took away the vocal melody, and I even took away a lot of the chords. I am staying on one chord, which is staying on that minor. I even took away a lot of the syncopation from the drums, so a lot of the rhythm. I eliminated a lot, simplified it, and really made it hit hard. Staying stuck isn't a creativity problem, it's really now just a decision problem. Which one of the 4 do you want to make changes to? And now that you've got the only 4 creative tools that matter, go use them. And just a reminder, the most exciting event is happening soon. Save your seat down below so you know how to actually get past getting your songs stuck. And everybody that attends live is going to get a special surprise from me, something I've worked a long time on. It's more than a DAW template, and it's less than a MacBook Pro. And everyone that attends live will get one for free. I'll see you in the next video here. Now, as always, go create.